Given the significance of your nomination as the Republicans' candidate for the 1st Congressional District, from your perspective, what do you see is the importance of your candidacy, and why under the GOP banner?
Well, I think the GOP banner fits my philosophy and the issues that I think are very important for us to move forward as a country and as a state. The issues of a smaller, less intrusive government, restructuring taxes is very important, less government spending. I think those three issues empowers the private sector to do what we do best. As a small business owner, we create jobs in a way that the government simply cannot. So it's a real easy iteration of my political process and political philosophy to find myself under the GOP banner is where I belong. As it relates to the importance of my candidacy, I think it's important because it's one more person who brings to the table a small business perspective on recovering our economy.
Do you feel that African Americans would fare better within the Republican Party? And if so, why?
Well, I think the philosophy of the individual matters more than the color of the person's skin. Ultimately, I think that African Americans probably should be involved in both parties to an equal standpoint, with probably a third of African Americans being independents. So frankly, if I had my druthers, I'd see a third in the Democratic Party, a third in the Republican Party, a third independents. I think you'd find a lot of influence and a lot of a lot of folks trying to vie for the votes, which is not happening right now.
What are some of the issues and challenges facing the 1st Congressional District?
Well, infrastructure is the biggest one that comes to mind. We simply, on the northern part of the district, I-73 is a very important infrastructure need in our state and in our district that hasn't been able to get funding so far. I think the ports are another major topic. One out of every 10 jobs in South Carolina is connected to our ports. The fact that the Panamanian ships are going to be coming through in 2014, preparing for ourselves for those ships, dredging the port in Georgetown from the 22 feet where it is now, 27 feet is where it needs to be, going from 45 feet depth to 50 feet. In the Charleston port is very important. The need for economic development is huge throughout the state. 12% unemployment in the 1st Congressional District. It goes from a low of less than 9% to a high of 15%. And so you have an amazing need in the economic development area.
You represent a new era in Republican leadership. What is your position as it pertains to the Tea Party?
Well, I think the Tea Party once again represents an outspoken majority, how we feel as a party and as conservatives. And simply, I feel like I represent the Tea Party's perspective on the issues that will drive America in the right direction. I think it's more of a group of folks who are trying to say yes to the right emphasis in the private sector community, yes to the right emphasis on a smaller and less intrusive government, and no to the things that we believe that expands the size of government in a way that has a negative impact on the average family.
Have you been publicly endorsed by the Tea Party?
Some Tea Parties, not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a plethora of Tea Parties throughout the state, so some have been very, very gracious with their endorsement.
Did you receive any notable Republican endorsements, national? Sarah
Palin comes to mind.
Okay. Okay.
She's a Tea Party. She's synonymous with the Tea Party. So,
if elected, what is your vision for the 1st Congressional District?
For me, I think it comes down to authenticity, sincerity, as far as philosophy that undergirds my decisions. And then from an issue-centric standpoint, it comes down to economic development. It comes down to how do we put people back to work in the private sector, and what can we do to get out of the way of small business owners like myself, hiring more people, investing in technology, having a stronger marketing plan so that we see a recovery happen.
Your nomination gives South Carolina Republican Party a great opportunity to restructure and rebrand itself. What exactly is that message that your campaign will be carrying forth from here?
Yeah, my message is a simple one. As a guy who was raised in a single-parent home, who saw his mother go to work 16 hours a day to keep us off welfare, that America is a place for American exceptionalism, that it actually works, that the stories that we hear, that we've read about, they aren't myths, they're realities. It takes a lot of hard work. You got to get a little lucky. But if you surround yourself with the right people and you are diligent and disciplined, amazing things can happen. That should be a part and parcel to the message the Republican Party, or more importantly, the conservatives have for all Americans. But we need to take that message to all Americans. We cannot afford to leave anyone out. And so my goal and my job, my personal mission, is to make sure that I go to every corner of this state, every corner of this congressional district, and make sure that the message of opportunity is echoed everywhere.